everyone. Welcome to the October 18, 2022 meeting of the Town of Manchester Planning and Zoning Commission. Tonight's first order on the agenda is the approval of the September 20th, 2022 minutes. Gentlemen, you have those in front of you. They were distributed previously.
I recommend approval as written.
Motion on the floor to approve as written.
I'll second the motion.
Motion has been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. All right, number one down. Michelle, what do you have for us?
We have signed off, we have a signed PWA for the off-site stormwater for Equine.
Okay.
We met in October with all town staff and all the county agencies and the developer and worked through their stormwater questions, and I think they're gonna be moving along now. We have utility in the road extension, currently work being done at Riley's Garden and Grafton Street. Safeguards is still being reviewed by the county. And we received proposed plans for the Patapsco 91 annexation. So they did submit a drawing showing what they were proposing to do there, because we were concerned with it being R40 to R15, what would happen. And it's a drawing I give you guys, it's about 13, if they needed that. And so we'll need to schedule a work session for that so we can get our information back to the council. And that's all I got.
Thank you very much. Steve?
Okay, good evening, commission members. Just some things of importance that you want to know. Brenda Denny, the Special Projects Coordinator of the Bureau of Resource Management and Land Development, is working with all the towns and updating our water supply capacity management plan. So once that's completed for Manchester, that's another tool in our toolbox to make decisions on planning throughout the county. That probably won't be completed for, I'll give it at least 6 months to all the information. Two other items of interest. Tomorrow evening, starting about 6:30, there's going to be a storm drain pipe installation at York and Long. That project's going to be done at night because of the heavy traffic down there. So that pipe's been in need of replacement for probably the last 7 years. So that's going to be done tomorrow night by an outside contractor. And we have some retirements and promotions. Our maintenance supervisor, Raymond White, he's retired after 21 years of service to the town. We promoted our park supervisor, Dave Brown, into that position. And our maintenance crew member, Ken Black, has been promoted to park supervisor. So we have an opening on the back end for a maintenance crew member, which we're going to be advertising over the next several weeks. So that's it for me.
Steve, any word on what the utility work was the other night on Main Street?
Yes, there was an electrical issue.
It wasn't just routine upgrade on anything, it was emergency repair?
There were some issues going
Okay.
on. Yeah, I think this area, the northern part of the county, the electric was dropping in and out, and there were some issues along the way. And then there were some issues down by, we had an issue on Main Street,
Right.
there by Spargo's, and we had an issue down by the substation.
Oh.
So there was a couple things going on. I really believe that Valley might have been out of power for a long period of time.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know it was going to come back from work late, if it was
Right.
a routine maintenance or an upgrade or something. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Councilman Cuneo, anything you have from the council?
Nothing. I was actually not at the meeting this week, and I think there's a few other people missing, so it was a short meeting. No, just normal business.
Gotcha. Thank you. Andrew, what do you bring us from the big city of Westminster?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, just to go over a couple items. For transportation, the transportation master plan was reviewed. There was a briefing to the Carroll County Planning and Zoning Commission on October 5th. A summary. The staff went over a summary of that plan, and a video can be found online if anybody wants to watch that to get more information. The Carroll County MDOT tour with Secretary Ports was held the other week. I was under the impression that it was going to be virtual. It was just a misunderstanding. However, all elected officials should have been notified by the county it was going to be in person. There was no big projects up here to report on this side of the county. Mostly it was Maryland, down around Maryland 32, 26. Also, hazard mitigation plan. The county will be sending that around this time of the month down to the federal government and the state for their initial review. And for comprehensive rezoning, the agricultural and conservation zones will be reviewed in early November by the Board of County Commissioners. And the fall amendment, I know Manchester has some information on that. Michelle and Steve, I don't know if you want me to brief the commission about the Manchester's fall amendment.
If you're done your report, you can go right on into that.
Okay. Sounds good. Unless any of the commission members have any questions about the county liaison report? Okay. I will keep this very brief. So there's 3 properties in question. 2 of them are, well, the 3 properties are 2914, 2912, and 2900 Hanover Pike, which is the Legacy Septic, Vince's Crab House, and Cult Riders Garage. Cult Riders and Legacy Septic will be coming out of existing and going into long range, and the Vince's Crab House will be going into existing. With these changes, that will actually, Manchester will have in the table more capacity than with these changes than before. But if you have any questions, let me know. The staff recommendation is county staff recommends approval of the table and map amendments. County staff is recommending that the Carroll County Planning and Zoning Commission certify this request as consistent with the 2014 Carroll County Master Plan, amended 2019, and the 2018 Manchester Comprehensive Plan. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'd like to follow up on that a little bit. That was done as basically a housekeeping from our water and sewer master plan, because those properties they got confused on the map, and they actually were showing like they had water, and they don't. So we had to correct that and take it out of the table, and Vince's did not show that they had any, and so we had to add them in. So that's really all we did.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Andrew? Thank you. Okay. So, what's the wish of the commission for the 2022 fall amendment?
Motion? I make a motion that we accept the amendment, the fall water and sewer amendment for Manchester as presented by the county planning staff.
Okay? Okay, motion on the floor to accept the 2022 fall water and sewer master plan fall amendment. Seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Might have some paperwork to take back.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Okay, Maverick Solar, what we got? Who's up?
Good evening. Do you want me to go to the...
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We like to see your smiling face.
That's the whole reason I'm here.
That's it. Bring happiness to the crew. That's good. I'm glad to hear.
Good evening. We're back here tonight with the Maverick One Solar site. Mrs. Hastings has brought Ted Hastings back for tonight's presentation. And we have John Shields with us, whom I don't believe you've met before in this venue. John is with SGC and Pivot Energy Systems. Following our September workshop and meeting, we went back to neighboring property owner as requested. I had a conversation with that neighboring property owner who thought that perhaps something other than fencing along the boundary on the northwest side would be appropriate and the type of screening that would be effective and without going beyond what was needed. So I took his ideas back to our planners, and they submitted a concept which was presented to staff not too terribly long ago. Based on the comments we got from the commission members and staff, we've gone back, we've redone the modification, and you have it before you tonight. It was presented yesterday, I believe. Is that correct, Ted?
Not yesterday.
So what this does is along the northwest border of the Lamont site, it incorporates a 6-foot PVC privacy fence in white. We discussed that last month. I vetted it with the neighboring property owner, Mr. Hill. He didn't think he's going to have any problems with it. I've not heard from him that he has. I don't know if the town's heard from him, if there's any concerns with that. And so we've incorporated that feature and some landscape plantings around the perimeter fence of the array itself. So far be it for me to try to talk to you about the technical details. I'll let Ted Hastings do that. Take it from here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again. Pretty much, I'm just going to reiterate what Dave just said. Is we went ahead and implemented the fencing along the whole property line up to the next road, I believe is Oak. The whole property line there. Along the slope on the outside of the fence that we discussed last time that the property owner thought he could farm, he had conceded that area, saying that we could put plantings there. So we put 3 rows of arborvitaes in that location just to block the view from anything from the north end. And that's pretty much what I got out of what we were here last time. And hopefully you'll agree with this particular layout so we can go ahead and move forward and get approval tonight. I'm here to answer any other questions you may have.
Thank you for your submission, we appreciate it. Just give everybody a chance to just take a look at it real quick.
60 vinyl from Grafton up to Oak.
Yes.
Right? And up top, we have 7-foot egg fence. That's where you have 3 rows of arborvitaes.
That is correct. I believe there's a total of 18 arborvitaes.
Yes. And they wrap around.
They stop at the BG&E easement. And they go back to the,
Wrap around here.
it stops right at the corner.
Right at the corner.
Right at the corner. And it goes back, it's not shown on this particular drawing, but there is the Manchester, Carroll County line right there.
But there's still a fence that goes and wraps around.
Yes, the fence wraps all the way around. The arborvitaes stop at the BG&E easement. the easement you just referred to is actually offset 1 foot from the property line, so we have an area to put the fence. Obviously, we can't put the fence inside the easement, so we left ourselves a space for that.
Everything that was in our minutes from last month has been met except for on the turn of the fence where Commissioner Graham thought that there is plantings that can be done in a utility easement.
Well, I think with the extension of the fence all the way up to Oak, it takes off that, they've actually extended from where we were talking about to get that sweep around. So now, the fence extending up to Oak, to me it appears when you come to the end of Oak, you'll see the trees blocking that corner.
I know this,
Yes.
Previously, the fence stopped at the Hill property, now it's extended on.
Okay, folks, do you have any questions, on this? Henry, I know you're recused from previous, from previous, sessions. Yeah, I think so.
Now, only to follow up on Mr. Graham's question or request was to speak to people in that area to say, which do you prefer? Do you prefer a white vinyl or do you prefer wood? That was something that he felt strongly about.
that was the original request, which I think got misinterpreted by offering anything but the fence.
I think the white vinyl's gonna be better. Also, I think the wood's got a chance to.
Go into the circle and look at the junkyard again and see what happens to that kind of fence. I agree. But I know that I just wanted to have a respect.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Just want to address the question.
So when I spoke with Mr. Hill about the buffering along his boundary line, I started talking about fencing and the two alternatives. The topic quickly turned to vegetative planning as an alternative. It was nothing that was done to ignore the fencing, but the topic quickly became a preference for vegetative planning. Quite frankly, I was kind of surprised after everything we walked through the evening when that was discussed. And that's the only reason it was in the first submission you had last week. That's why it was there. We were trying to basically meet the preference.
So I have a question. So as shown on the plans, you know, we're working to get that 20-foot utility easement for water main loop. The white vinyl fence will come in 1 foot from the property line. I guess my end question is that vinyl fence going to be in the prospective 20-foot easement that the town will use? It will be outside of it.
No, it'll be built within the 1 foot strip. So technically, you could say the center of the post will be 6 inches from the property line and 6 inches from the prospective easement.
The fence won't be in the easement.
The fence won't be in the easement.
So my next question would be, okay, so maintenance responsibility would be up to the solar company.
That's correct.
Got it.
Yep. And to follow up on the fence, white vinyl fence lasts longer. It's actually more expensive and it's a lot easier to maintain.
make sure I'm clear, 'cause I apologize, I've been taking some notes, and I may have missed things. At the property lines, we have the 6-foot tall solid vinyl privacy fence, which I guess is this.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And up here, the solar panels, we have, just says 7-foot ag fence.
It is an egg fence. The whole fence here, that goes all the way around is all egg fence. The plantings are right here to block anything else from the north. Because this fence goes here, it'll block this, but anything more from the north. That's what the arborvitae's are blocking.
Okay, and forgive my lack of knowledge. Vinyl fence, ag fence, what's the difference? What's an ag fence?
Ag fence is pretty much, it's a timber fence with just timber poles and it has a wire mesh. The openings are bigger and allow wildlife to pass through versus like a chain link fence where the wildlife could not get through.
Okay, got it, thank you. Just wanna make sure I was there.
Sure.
Alex, I didn't have any more questions.
Okay, there,
Okay,
you good?
at
Okay,
20 foot, square away.
very good. Okay, gentlemen, I need a motion to accept and move forward or reject.
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal as is.
Okay? Motion on the floor to accept the, Maverick One, landscaping plan as it's written. So motion's on the floor.
Second that motion.
Okay, motion's been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very
Good to go.
much.
Come a long way.
Yes.
All the way from Salisbury.
Yes, that's okay. I really don't mind. Have a great
Hey,
navigator.
is Harris's open on your way home? Harris's Crab House? on your
Go
way
to
home?
I
Fisherman's,
normally
go to
stop.
Fisherman's Inn.
No, come on,
Oh,
other side.
that's bad. Fisherman's Inn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Dave, I'll still be here when this is completed.
Trying to make, what, are you trying to make a return date now, Steve?
I told him there was some rumor that he might be retiring.
That's been about a year now, so.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chairman.
That's all that's, on the agenda. Public comment. No? Good? Good to see y'all.
I'd like to make one comment.
Uh-oh. What?
Alex is a new grandfather.
Oh.
The grandson, took him home yesterday, and everybody's fine, including the baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Another Carroll in the town of Manchester.
There you
Oh,
go.
my God.
The name continues.
Yeah, it feels good to have the Garys back at these meetings.
Consistency is the key in this
I'm
world.
telling you, I was getting a little lonely without them here.
Yeah.
Wait till we start talking.
Oh, no, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're glad
We're
when
getting lonely.
we're
when you're
glad
by
when- we're
yourself in
glad when-
company.
townspeople come in to listen. That's what we're here for.
I know they always had a lot to offer to the council meetings, always.
Good.
I like that new ice cream shop. It's a good one.
I'll make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
Thank you, Michelle. Motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.